That's LBJ, man. Best all-around player. I say best all-around player the game's ever seen.
Yeah, we don't want to have that dumb fight that everybody's having in the barbershop.
On today's Wind-Up Wednesday edition of the Odd Coaches Podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis discuss the Lakers' improvement, analyze the widening gap between the University of Maryland and Georgetown, as well as preview the upcoming week in college and pro basketball. Welcome to today's show.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today is my tag team partner. Don't ask me why I was thinking about the UWF, the Terry Taylor to my gentleman, Chris Adams, the icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, I think the reason why I was thinking about the UWF is because Mid-South is going to be a part of the next territories, and Mid-South became the Universal Wrestling Federation. But who cares about that? How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Yes, the UWF was the only reason why I almost missed basketball practice on Saturday morning, because Terry Gordy was fighting like a one-man gang or something.
Yeah.
And I had to see that match. I like Terry Gordy. All right, so on this Wind-Up Wednesday edition, we got the NBA Week in Review, and got some things locally to our area that I want to, ask my partner about, because some headlines this morning came across my desk. So we're going to talk about that in segment 2. So another milestone, sir. LeBron James moved past Magic Johnson on the NBA's all-time assist list. LeBron has over 10,000 assists, 10,142 at the time of this taping. And look at the list of people who are ahead of him on the all-time list. Mark Jackson, Steve Nash, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, and John Stockton. Wow. That's an accomplishment. So, I'm not here to bash or praise or go crazy with the LeBron thing, but this guy continues to build an incredible legacy of basketball. Any thoughts on LBJ moving past Magic, who, by the way, fans, would have had more assists if it wasn't for, the HIV piece and that. So I don't want young players to think Magic just stopped there. He had another 5 years left in him and probably would have blown out Stockton, but I digress.
Yeah.
But
True story.
Any thoughts on LeBron James moving up on the all-time assist list now?
Not at all. Just longevity's been good to him. I mean, he's played well,
All right.
That's LBJ, man. Best all-around player. I say best all-around player the game's ever seen.
Yeah, we don't want to have that dumb fight that everybody's having in the barbershops. But we're going to stay with the Lakers, and we're going to talk about let's making a deal. Because the Lakers have been playing better. So according to The Athletic, the Lakers are looking at a new timeline, and they're looking to make one of 3 different trades. And I wanted to give my partner's thoughts because he's a legitimate Lakers fan. So trade scenario number 1, Russell Westbrook plus one or both of their tradable first-round picks in 27 and 29 for a star or a package of multiple role players. What say you, sir? Is that something that sounds interesting?
I don't know if it's not too early for all that. Do you think it might be a little too early?
Okay, but that trade didn't tickle your fancy
No.
or excite your soul.
No, not at all. I think it's a little too early to even be talking about. I mean, it's just a little too early for me to talk about all that craziness, man.
All right, well, here's the second one, according to The Athletic. Some combination of Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, and picks for role players who better fill their immediate needs of shooting and size.
No, first of all, Rob Pelinka put this shit together. Make him deal with it. I don't care what nobody say. I don't even want to talk about trade for Lakers. They should have been doing that shit in the offseason. You brought him in here. Come on, man. Stop it.
Okay, for the purposes of the segment, the third and final trade are 2 separate trades. One that would involve Beverly, Nunn, and 1 first-round pick, and the other would involve Westbrook and the other pick.
Shit. Westbrook, Beverly, I think you gotta really find something for all of. I mean, if I had to trade, I would try to move Westbrook. I think Beverly is needed. You need that point guard, that strong dude. The Westbrook and LeBron, them that never worked. It has never worked.
Well, according to the Atlantic, the Athletic, they're looking at 2 or 3, option 2 or option 3. So,
and who they trading with?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I saw that. Okay. I'm going to skip Mr. Udoka and go to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Show me the money. So Floyd Mayweather has a lot of money, and he's looking to be the majority owner of an NBA franchise.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Adrian Wojnarowski reported in October that Vegas and Seattle are real candidates for expansion, but that's likely years away because the NBA wants to negotiate its new TV deal. Among current franchises, the Phoenix Suns are the only ones up for sale right now. One investment banker said that the Suns would likely sell for the highest price ever of an NBA franchise, and the current record is $2.35 billion that Joe Tsai paid for the Brooklyn Nets.
Oof.
So, one, does money have the money to be a majority NBA owner? And two, what kind of job would he do?
He got the money. He got the money. He got the money. But the thing is, will they let him in? See, that's that club. That's an exclusive club. You know, they make a lot of money, and that's the one they keep us out of. You know, we're struggling to be coaches. You know, we're great players. We struggle to be coaches. You know, that old book. I don't know if you ever read that book, $1 Million Slave.
Yes. It's on the shelf right to my left.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only certain things they'll let you get, but they also got structures financially that you will always be dependent on them. But when we get to that level of ownership, we're out of here. You know what I mean? We're out of here. And then we're really on the same level as them, and they're not letting that happen.
Well, I would love for Vegas and Seattle to be the next 2 expansion cities.
That would be great. And I think he would be good too. But he's like, they'll probably come out against him like they did Dion. He's too bold. You know, they'll say some shit like that.
Yeah. And then you can kind of redo the East and West and make it a little easier for travel. And okay. So with that, fans, in segment 2, we're going to talk about there's no delete button in cyberspace, as well as a timely conversation about the University of Maryland and the Georgetown Hoyas. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
There is an old business adage that says, what gets measured and monitored gets done. It is also fact that deadlines spur action. That is what the CCA Save Projects academic monitoring service can do for student athletes. Measure and monitor their academic progress to improve their grades. Our academic monitoring services provide ongoing academic support for student athletes for a designated period of time. Our academic success coaches work with student athletes on time management and organizational skills, along with improving their ability to self-advocate. Every few weeks, our academic success coaches meet with student athletes to assess their academic progress, as well as provide ongoing academic advising. If needed, student athletes have access to CKA Learning Specialists who provide virtual core subject academic support for student athletes. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free virtual consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, we're going to open up with, hey, student athletes, players, fans, there's no delete button in cyberspace. Marcus Bagley has appeared in just 2 of Arizona State's 7 games this season, and he's a little bit upset about the lack of playing time he's getting. So he tweeted out that he wasn't playing because he, quote, made a mistake and said some things to Coach Bobby Hurley that I shouldn't have said. Me not playing is 100% punishment for what I said that day. He may be regretting saying some things because he also tweeted, athletes, please, please, please make a well-thought, thorough decision where you go to school. These people will tell you anything to build you up. just to tear you down. Coach Hurley didn't respond to those responses and said, we do playing time, the usual coach's response, playing time. But Mike, any gentle advice for this new generation of athlete that clicks the button really fast?
Yeah, I don't understand. Why would you come out of your face and say something like that and then expect not to receive a consequence or not for it to be taken that way? It's just they're so used to, so comfortable to doing that. And this goes back. This is a bigger problem with society because it's not just athletes, but kids no longer, like there used to be this word called consequence, and you can't even use consequence or punishment anymore. In our school, you have to use the word intervention. Like it's that, yeah. We're at that point now. We're at that point, and that's the problem. So kids, long gone are the days, hey, if you do this, this will happen to you. You can't say that. There's a possibility, like, come on, man. So we got kids that just don't.
So what I miss, and this is not old man get off my lawn, but I just had a conversation not too long ago with Will Cotton, captain for life, OCP correspondent. And what's missing is just the regular conversations about the sport you're playing or the role you play in whatever organization you have, or just having the conversation of, hey, can I ask you some questions because I'm confused about my role or this, that, and the other. And it seems that we want to tweet, we want to post and not have regular conversations.
Mm-hmm.
We want to fire off an email. And, gentle advice from Dr. Adams, man, learn how to communicate and ask the questions the best way you can, because that's just not going to work out for you in the long run. But moving forward, a tale of two cities. It was the best of times, it's the worst of times, and appropriate this holiday season. So Mike and I both live in the DMV, District, Maryland, and Virginia. And we both grew up with two schools close to our hearts, the University of Maryland and Georgetown University. And currently right now, at the time of this taping, Maryland is 8-0 and ranked 22nd in the country. And some headlines came across my desk this morning. The fan base needed to be re-energized, and Maryland's new coach, Kevin Willard, is doing a good job of getting the fans involved. And another headline was Gary Williams is on the Kevin Willard bandwagon. So things are kind of looking good at Maryland. Last week, our game of the week was Maryland versus Illinois, and Maryland won that tough game, and they're playing really well. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement. So, Mike, any thoughts on Maryland early this season?
Love the way he coaches. Love how he puts everything into it. I had, friends that was there, was right behind the bench, said the biggest thing they got is how he's connected to the kids. That they were at a game and he was like, ho, listen, before we say anything, it's my fault. I made the mistake. It was on me. I'm asking you to bail me out. Can you bail me out? It's my fault. It wasn't part of the practice. It wasn't part of the scout. It's my fault. And the kids were like, Coach, we got you. And like once you got them unified, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. So he's I don't know if the other guys, it was more of a transactional relationship with the previous staff, in my opinion.
Okay.
He's a great guy, he's a good guy, but I think it was more of a transactional relationship. This is actually a caring. This is it's his family kind of thing. This really is family. I never felt that with the other group. Like, we're here, this is a business, this is what we got to do. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but you can't, in 2022, 2023, especially with a lot of things going on, man, kids, it's different. We got transfer portal now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't be transactional.
And we'll talk about that on tomorrow's show.
Right?
Yes.
You got the guy from Oklahoma State who's leaving. He don't want to be with Mike Gundy anymore. I'm 40. I'm a grown man. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear all that no more.
Yeah. So that takes us to Georgetown, Mike. Georgetown right now, again, at the time of this taping, 4-5. And some of the losses have been quite disappointing, for a lack of a better term. And here are the two headlines that came across my desk. Patrick Ewing is on borrowed time with the Georgetown men's basketball program. That was the headline. And Dante Harris transferred. Now, I don't know Dante Harris, haven't dug in deep to Georgetown roster. To quote the late, great Ken Beatrice, I don't have the resources to do all of that. But, man, what are your thoughts on Georgetown's early season struggles? And we haven't even hit for George. Maryland's played Illinois, so they had one conference game already, and the Big Ten is awesome. Georgetown haven't even played a conference game yet, and the Big East got 2-3 top 25 teams. So any thoughts, sir?
Yo, it's not even Christmas yet. We got kids ready to leave Georgetown already.
Yeah, he left. Dante's gone. Dante Harris transferred. Again, I don't even know who Dante Harris is, but apparently it's a loss because they were talking about it.
Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. Well, first of all, he must have left before 2 weeks ago when I went to the game, because I ain't see nobody who was worth leaving at Georgetown. I'm being honest. I ain't seen one person at Georgetown that would have been a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can only just root for them. I can only say, man, it's going to be tough if you're struggling. They lost to, at the time of this taping, they lost to South Carolina in overtime, and they were favored to win that one. Let's just say I'm looking at the lines a little more than previously. Shout out to State of Maryland. Last one, Mike. Is it too early to panic? The University of North Carolina, who started the season off ranked number 1, had 3 straight losses, one against Iowa State, one against Indiana, one against Alabama. And they still got non-conference matchups with Ohio State and Michigan before it gets into the heart of the ACC slate. Any thoughts on UNC? Any advice for Coach Davis in his second year?
No. I wish him the best. And, just wish him the best.
All right, fans.
I wish him the best.
Finally, for this segment. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, that guy, back to Georgetown, I think if that's who I think it is, he's part of the problem.
Ouch.
I'd be happy to see him go. If that's who I think it is. There was a couple guys on their team when I saw them a couple weeks ago against American.
You were there.
Made horrible decisions, and I don't know if they caught up in the moment or whatever, but, I firmly believe in addition by subtraction. I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
You're not going to hold me hostage, bro. I don't care who you are. You're not going to hold me hostage. We're not going to do that. I got too much time and too much to worry about coaching the people who want to be there. I ain't going to keep trying to deal with you. Like I said, you know my rule. What's my rule?
We don't do distractions.
I don't do distractions. I don't care how good you are.
distractions.
I don't do distractions. No, sir. But, yeah, I think if that's who I think it is, kudos to Pat. And they might get better.
Well, fans, as I have said the last couple of weeks, and Mike is on sidelines already. I am in gyms now. I am watching basketball in a lot more detail, and we will definitely follow both Georgetown, Maryland, UNC, and the entire college and pro basketball worlds on the Odd Coaches podcast. It's an exciting time to be able to just watch and analyze basketball at a high level. And with that, we'll be right back on the Odd Coaches podcast as we talk about the week ahead in basketball.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Fallon Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams, just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student-athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 3, we got the week ahead. So, in the Eastern Conference, once again, top 3 teams, Boston, Bucks, and Cavs. Haven't had a change with that. Middle 3 in the East have changed. Sixers are 7. Raptors are 8, and the Heat are 9. And the bottom 3, no change. Charlotte, Pistons, Magic. Keep an eye this week, especially the betting public, on Boston, Cavs, and the Nets. Brooklyn is playing better. They've won like 6, 7 in a row, something like, not in a row, but 6 or 7 out of their last 10 games. Boston continues to be consistent. The Cleveland Cavs continue to be consistent. Mike, have you checked out anybody in the Eastern Conference this past week?
No, I didn't. You know, I was a little under the weather. I didn't really watch a lot of basketball. Honestly, in the Eastern Conference, there ain't too many teams I want to see play anymore.
Wow. Yes.
Seriously, I mean the Celtics are good. I like watching the Celtics. If there's a game on and there's nothing else, maybe. But you know, I'm closing out the semester, baby.
Well, I will talk about the Celtics for a moment. We skipped over the story in segment 1, but since you brought that up and the Celtics are playing better, at the start of the year, a lot of teams were inquiring about Ime Udoka as a coach because he's a good coach. And this has nothing to do with the incident or whatever. Okay. But now that the Celtics are playing and they're playing well, his marketing power had been very good. So teams may or may not be willing to take a chance because the Celtics are still streaming along like he wasn't even there. So that's kind of what we were going to talk about. But let's go to the Western Conference. Phoenix is number 1, Denver's number 2, and New Orleans is number 3. So Zion is still playing. We're gonna keep rolling the dice because shucks, we don't know when he's going to turn heel.
You don't know
in terms of potential injury. So for this season, he has already played in 17 games. Can't believe we're getting excited about playing in 17 games.
I love it.
And in those 17 games, he's averaging 31 minutes a game, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists.
What's the over-under again?
45 is what your cap was. 46 to 59 is push. And I said 60. Because the most games he's ever played in the season was 61. That's where the number 60 came in.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, in his career, he's only played 102 games. So, it's just all right. So, in the middle of the
playoffs, that's one season.
Okay. The middle 3, 7 on the Clippers, 8 on the Warriors, and the Warriors are playing way better. Mike is killing me. And Dallas is 9. And the bottom 3, I'm so mad because I picked against the Rockets and they won. And I said, come on, man. Why are you winning this game? The Oklahoma City Thunder's 13, Rockets are 14, Spurs are 15. Got 5 teams this week for you to keep an eye on. Again, strictly for entertainment purposes only. New Orleans, the Suns. What's going on in Sacramento? Sacramento Kings are putting up wins. Okay. They're winning ball games. Who's coaching there? Is that Luke is still. I don't know
Hell no, Luke gone, man.
who's
Stop.
coaching Sacramento Kings.
It ain't Luke.
Kings coach. And 0.5 is Mike Brown is coaching Sacramento.
Yes.
All right, go Mike Brown.
Oh yeah, he got him going.
Okay. The Warriors are playing well and the Lakers are playing well. So, again, with the state of Maryland having, online betting, I tend to look at the teams that are hot the previous week and see if I can sneak in a win or two. Strictly for entertainment purposes only.
That's it.
College Roundup. Folks, keep an eye on these teams. We do this every week because when the NCAA tournament hits, we want these names familiar and fresh in your minds to help with your bracket. So we do this every week. We haven't even gotten to the point of ranking anyone yet. It's too early for us. But keep an eye on Houston, Fordham, Virginia, UConn, St. John's, Maryland, Purdue, Charleston, New Mexico, UNLV, Auburn, Mississippi State, Mike, Missouri, Southern Miss, and Marshall. That's on the men's side. On the women's side, again, strictly for entertainment purposes only, St. Joe's, Virginia, Virginia Tech. I keep saying Virginia Tech. I keep seeing them.
Oh,
Okay.
come on, man. Stop.
Creighton, St. John's, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State, Rice, Northern Illinois, and wait for it, Mike, Norfolk State women. They are getting it done. Norfolk State women
Good for
are
them.
getting it done. So
We got to see when they come this way.
45's not here, and we're not going to the game. You're busy, man. How you gonna go to a game when you locked up? Okay.
If they
But
play
I'm
on a
checking them
Sunday,
out.
if they play on a Sunday afternoon, we could. What's the chances?
NBA games of the week this week. Friday, December 9th. Sacramento's playing Cleveland. Phoenix is playing New Orleans. We'll see if Zion's playing. And Minnesota's going to Utah. I'm kind of interested in it. They tell me Rudy Gobert's had some foolishness and he might get suspended. I think he got tossed out of a game for tripping somebody.
Rudy Gobert in?
Yeah. Last night, apparently he tripped somebody or did something foolish. I don't know. But I want to check out that game. Saturday, December 10th, Brooklyn's playing Indiana. Boston is traveling to Golden State. And Utah is playing Denver. I do the Utah piece because of the back-to-back games. I like to see how teams play back-to-back games because the NBA kind of, is kind of shying away from that. Okay. In terms of men's college basketball, on Friday, December 9th, Washington is taking on Gonzaga. Saturday, December 10th, Alabama's playing Houston and Arizona's playing Indiana. I keep wanting to see Houston play against good non-conference opponents because once they get into the heart of the American season, just like Gonzaga, they're not going to get that bump. And then they're going to get to the tournament. So we're watching them play non-conference games. On the women's side, Friday, December 9th, Cincinnati's playing Xavier. And Saturday, December 10th, St. Joe's is playing Villanova. That's one of them Big Five games, right, Mike?
Yeah.
St. Joe's, Villanova?
Yeah, that's a fight. That's one of them. They down the street. They fighting downtown.
All right. Why I got to be fighting downtown?
They fighting in Philly, boy. They fighting there. I'm
All
just
right.
saying.
So before we close, any advice this week for the basketball community, Mike, that you want to share? Any wisdom? I think I may share some spots before we go out.
No wisdom.
Well, I will share some brief wisdom, folks, with the basketball community. Young players, try your best to protect the basketball.
Oh my God.
Had a chance to watch a lot of ball this week in person.
Don't mention
we're not
no
joking
names.
when we say see you on the sidelines.
Don't mention no names.
Oh, no names. But a lot of carelessness. One situation in particular, I saw a guy catch an inbound play. Shot clock had 30 seconds on the clock. The point guard dribbled. We call it a quarter pounder with cheese. The quarter pounder is the pounding, and the cheese is the turnover that's anticipated. That's why I say, quarter pounder with cheese, QPC. And he dribbled And then with 18 seconds left on the shot clock, with nobody moving, he penetrated in the lane and tried to jump into trees and then drop over pass that went out of bounds, turnover, next play. So again, that wasn't just like a one-time only thing. That was like kind of what I kept seeing. So, hey guys, protect the ball, learn how to share, and hopefully good things will happen.
We can't do that.
All right. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, and we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CCA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CCA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.